Welcome, people of planet Earth and all planets beyond. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Josh, and today we're going to talk about how to identify vintage Giant tags. So let's get into it. Now, Giant is a record label and merchandise company founded in 1990 in a partnership with Warner Brothers Records. They started producing their first merchandise in 1991. The record label and the merchandising company were somewhat separate, both having sort of different paths that waxed and waned through the years, but both of them were pretty much folded by 2013. Recently, Warner Brothers has actually reopened and relaunched Giant as a record label that mostly operates in Sweden. Now, over the years, Giant has produced many iconic designs for rock bands specifically. Bands like the Smashing Pumpkins, Rage Against the Machine, Korn, Aerosmith, Metallica, and perhaps most notably Nirvana. But additionally, because of their partnership with Warner Brothers, they also produce t-shirts for IP like Batman the Animated Series or Animaniacs, or movies like Interview with a Vampire or Lord of the Rings, so on and so forth. Basically anything that Warner Brothers wanted to funnel through. Now, since the heyday of Giant really was more than 20 years ago, most Giant pieces you'll find will be technically vintage, 20 years or more, but there's still plenty of valuable stuff in that early 2000s era. Specifically with some of the movies and video game t-shirts that came out around that time are still very popular today and still very in demand, even though they're not technically 20 years old yet. Sort of people are anticipating it, and there's some really amazing designs that Giant put out around that time. Now, when trying to identify vintage Giant t-shirts, we can use a lot of the same methods that we would use for just about any other t-shirt. Like, is it made in the USA, or does it have single or double stitched hems? Both of those would be good indicators that it was vintage and produced probably in the 90s or earlier. We can also use the copyright date on the art and the graphic of the t-shirt. Though this is really more approximate, there are plenty of examples on Giant t-shirts that are not accurate. They're like much earlier on, because the copyright date is for the art on the t-shirt, not necessarily the production of the t-shirt itself. But it can give us sort of a limit that it's not any older than this age. So if that's helpful to you, you can use a variety of methods to sort of pinpoint the age and production era of your Giant tee. Now, the other method, and this is perhaps the most important method that we will actually be discussing today, and that is the tags on the t-shirt. And this is true for most vintage t-shirts that we would try to identify. The tag is perhaps one of the most important elements. But unlike other t-shirt manufacturers, Giant's a little bit different. Most t-shirt manufacturers have a standard tag or a couple standard tags per era, and then they transition from one after using them for a few years to another, to another, and to another. So you can sort of stack them in sequence. Well, that's not entirely true with Giant. There seems to be a handful of tags that were used at a certain period of time, especially at the beginning, and then there were some that were used later on, and then sometimes you can even find some of those sort of scattered about by using other methods of dating. So we'll take a look here right off the bat and get into some of the earliest tags that Giant used on their t-shirts. Now let's take a look at the first group of tags that was used from around 91 to 96, again interchangeably. There's no real sequence to them, but there is something interesting about this era, and that's because Giant partnered with companies like Anvil, Tultex, and TJ's to produce Giant tags that included the t-shirt manufacturer's branding on it. So you'll have Giant by Anvil, Giant by Tultex, and Giant by TJ's, as well as the OG just Giant by itself. So let's take a look at those right here. We have the first Giant tag. This is the OG by itself. No other branding. This was a t-shirt probably entirely manufactured by Giant or some subsidiary. This is a made in USA, typically 100% cotton, though I have seen a couple that may be polycotton, but cotton was much more in the 90s than the polycotton of the 80s, so this makes more sense. Then we have the Giant by Anvil tag that looks like this. Again, 100% cotton. These are much more heavyweight t-shirts. They're much thicker than the previous 1980s super thin t-shirts, and also made in the USA. Then we have the Giant by TJ's tag. It looks very similar outside of the TJ's logo. These were all single stitch typically. Sometimes the lower hem had a double stitch, so you do need to be aware of that. That there are some vintage t-shirts that are all single stitch, some that are single stitch in the arm only, and the bottom hem is double stitched. But most of these were single stitch all the way around. Then around 1993 or 94, we have the next tag that sort of emerged, and that was the partnership between Giant and Toltex. This particular tag is sort of notable because it was the tag that the Nirvana heart-shaped box t-shirt was first printed on. Super cool t-shirt, but what's notable about this one is it deviates in a lot of ways from typical vintage t-shirts. One, it was double stitched both in the arm sleeve and the bottom hem, but it was also produced outside of the United States. It was produced with American fabrics but sewn in Jamaica. This happened right around the time that the NAFTA transition sort of took place, so probably some of that was motivating it as well. Now, before we move into the late 90s and the 2000s, one thing to note is that you can find t-shirts from Anvil and TJ's that are simply on the Anvil or TJ's standard tags. Like the Anvil will have like the red bar tag, and TJ's would have like sort of red, white, and blue white tag. That is possible. They will say licensed to Giant or by Giant on next to the copyright of the graphic. This is not terribly uncommon, so you do kind of have to watch out for that because I've seen people sort of get a little bit wary about t-shirts with those tags, but it is quite possible that these t-shirts would have one of those tags and be legitimate from that era. For whatever reason, it may be that the factory ran out of the Giant tags and they just needed to fill orders, so they just put the standard tag on and send it out. Whatever it is, they have been proven to be legit, so be aware of that. They are from this early 90s era. Then moving into the late 90s and early 2000s, we have tags like this one right here, which is the giantmerchandising.com. It has the website. This was, I believe, founded in like 97, 98, something like that, when they first had their website. But that's a pretty good giveaway that if your tag has a website on it, it's not going to be much older than 97 or 98. So it's a good marker to use with this particular tag. The next tag we can look at here is the Warner Brothers tag that was used in the late 90s and to the early 2000s. This is obviously because there is a partnership with Warner Brothers that some of these tags did have this printed on it. This was a tag used in the late 90s and the early 2000s. So in the late 90s and the early 2000s, Giant did have a sort of standard tag that just had Giant on it with a little bit of information, like this one here, which is the woven version, made in the USA still, obviously. And then it has a sort of printed, more nylon feeling tag like this one, which most of the time was indicative that it was made in El Salvador. But these both were used in the late 90s and into the early 2000s. Then a tag that showed up in the 2000s only, I think something like 2005 or so, was the Giant tag with a skull right here. This one seems to be pretty much relegated to that 2000s era. It was not used in the late 90s. It doesn't even seem that was used in the very early 2000s, so probably 2004, 5, or 6, somewhere in that range. But that's when it first started to seem to appear. It's actually a fairly uncommon tag, as at this point Giant was really on the decline, and I think in like 2008 they really sort of fell apart. They didn't have a whole lot going on for them. Around that time they also started printing on the back of t-shirts like all the other companies were, instead of adding tags. So if you find a Giant t-shirt with printing on the back of the shirt on the inside, it's definitely probably outside of the vintage time period, most likely from that 2008 to maybe 2013 era. So not vintage, but they still might be cool. Now, because Giant has some of the most expensive and valuable vintage t-shirts in its portfolio, there's a lot of people out there trying to make a buck by producing and selling fakes. And we've seen that in the last couple of years, that they're even getting down to trying to reproduce the tags, which is not generally a thing that people producing fake t-shirts even care to do, because they can pass off it a fake on a regular t-shirt and save them time and money. But we've started to see the authenticity attempt to be even better and more accurate these days, but there are a few elements that we can point out that will help you decide that they are in fact inauthentic. Here is a Giant by TJ's tag that these started showing up, I believe, on like a Chinese website a few years back, and people trying to sell them and make some money. But notice here on the Giant by TJ's tag that the G in Giant is very rounded, which doesn't happen on almost any of the tags. The only tag that this really takes place on is one of the late 90s tags, but that's the only time you see it. Otherwise, they're still very angular Gs. So this one is pretty obvious because of that G. And there seems to be a whole batch of these. When I was on eBay going through a bunch of listings just this week, I found probably 4 or 5 of them that were fake. They had this sort of really swooshy G rather than the angular G, and this is a good indicator that the t-shirt is fraudulent. Also, there's another one going around. It's the same tag. I don't know why they keep trying to do the same one, but it looks a little bit better as far as like the angles and stuff. But you can see that the printing here is very different, very almost too precise. You can see like the percentage symbol is got 2 circles rather than just sort of dots like all of the other tags. So you getting familiar with the original tags that are authentic will help you when you look at these inauthentic tags and to keep you from buying a fraud. So now that we've looked at the tags and we've talked about the other methods like single versus double stitch, copyright date, and made in USA, we can use all of those methods in combination to get a better idea of how old or from what era our Giant t-shirt is from. But the other thing we can use is a more obvious method, and that's just to look on the t-shirt itself. Sometimes, and a lot of times, these t-shirts were just tour tees. They were sold on tour, and they have that tour's date on them, like tour 2005 or 1997. You can use that very simply to give you a pretty good idea of when this t-shirt probably was made. Or you can use the year an album came out, like the Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness by the Smashing Pumpkins came out in 1995. They probably did not produce that t-shirt in 1993. They may have produced it in 94 leading up to the album or something like that, but it's going to be right around that era. So that's at least a backstop of how old it really could be. So use those types of things in combination with all these other methods, and you can get a pretty close and approximate idea of when your t-shirt was produced. And knowing these tags versus the inauthentic tags that may be out there, you can avoid buying an inauthentic vintage Giant t-shirt. So I hope that was helpful to you in your vintage t-shirt endeavors. If you'd like more information and more content about how to date vintage clothing, check the eye above. Otherwise, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.